Hello! Welcome back. It's been too darn long. It's been 3 weeks? I had to go back and review the VOD to remember what we even were up to last time. Let's see, where is it? Oh. I forgot about this. I don't know what this is even for. Not super important right now. We got the first thing we need for the tender flesh. Very important. The town has been overrun with crows. And everybody is so scared about it. They're guarding the grain mill because the crows have been swooping at it, which is bad news for us because we need the grain mill to turn the tender flesh, or the, I've forgotten the name of it, the wheat testament, into something properly edible, so we can offer it up. I do remember we were having a bit of a runaround. A fair few people we haven't talked to. I don't know if I really feel like doing voices this week. There's such a variety of voices that I do, and I definitely don't remember all of them right now. Don't go losing your wits like that, Odalie. It may be best to rest for the day, Mrs. Odalie. Is everything alright? Eek! Have I seen this conversation already? I thought I ran through the back alley and then didn't talk to everyone. I don't remember, it's okay. What's gotten into her? Odalie's terrified of the crows, Elise. Maybe I'll do a little voices for a treat, to help keep these more distinct. Old Judgen's right. It's that lassie and her cousin. Oh, for goodness sake. This isn't good for you, Odalie. Think about your health. Your heart can't take much more. Oh, but I can't settle down, Marielle. The Lord is with Kieferberg. We must not forget that. You ought to put your faith in him, Mrs. Odalie. That's right, Odalie. You can't get swayed by whatever old Jolchin says. Jolchin? I came to this conclusion last week, and I'm the eternal forgetter. You would think with English being technically a Germanic language, there would be more in common. I guess English is kind of a hodgepodge, though. Do I look like a witch to you, Mrs. Odalie? Oh, I wouldn't know, lass. What do you mean you wouldn't know? Don't rile her up, Elise. We'll take care of her. Don't you worry, dearie. There's a chore over here. I've only got chores right now, and I don't remember if I've done whatever the chickens is, so I probably will come back for that, but... have a little run around and talk to everyone else back here. It's best you start confessing, Dorothy. A mother's sin passes on to her child, you know. Oh, for goodness sake. Why, it's a fact, Elise. What you ought to do, Dorothy, is wear your rosary all 9 months. Oh, I will. But Brunhild, she... What about Mrs. Brunhild? She's been doing these divinations. I think my suspicion's low enough. I can't really worry. I don't really have to worry about which of these is more suspicious. But I feel like it's not as obvious as some of the other choices we've had. Why not let her then? Mrs. Brunhild's so anxious it might make her settle down a little. Elise! How can you say such a thing, lass? Huh? Truly, Elise, this is rather dangerous. Whether we believe in the witch or not, she could hurt herself. I don't know what you've been doing behind our backs, Elise, but... where is this all coming from? All I'm saying is that Mrs. Brunhild is an adult, and as such... Brunhild's rather gullible, Elise, we all know that. Oh, you'd best get Elise away from Brunhild, Dorothy. Why you? Ah, well. There's somebody down here. It's best we start gathering for prayer, old Yolkin. Yolkin? Not much else we can do with neighbors like these, I'd say. Out and about talking behind folks' back again, I see. What use is there in winding old Yolkin up, Elise? Kieferberg isn't taking these omens seriously, lass. Folks are making merry amongst these crows like it's nothing. What do you say they should be doing then? Pray them away? You shouldn't say such things, Elise. Better yet, why not have them fetch the witch for us and ask her to stop? Mocking all of Kieferberg, are you? There's no need to do this, Elise. Why, there's no need to frighten folks for nothing, but here we are. They ought to be frightened, Elise. We're dealing with a witch. It's your lack of fear and penitence that's so aggravating, lass. Now, old Yolkin, you know what Father Hans said. You still haven't told us what you saw last night, Elise. I'd say it's your own fault you didn't care to listen last night, old Yolkin. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have better things to be doing with my time. Okay, well, I am starting to play a little too loosey-goosey. I wonder what the, what's the word? Outcome, I suppose. I wonder if there's a particular outcome of letting your suspicion max out. I actually want to be right back for a moment. Okay, we're all good. Yay! Here's the mill. They're not leaving, and Mr. Eugene's got the key. Maybe Mr. Eugene will be around this evening. Okay. I think that's a perfectly good cue to go and do our chore. Or 2. Oh, I don't think I can get where I want to be from up here. Okay. Are you wanting to eat a lot of eggs, Lilies? What else is there to eat in this town, anyhow? Oh, you have enough for a hog or 2, I'm certain. What's his problem? Huh. Anyhow, won't you fetch me a few eggs for supper? Oh, it's eggs again. I can do eggs again. Let's have you pitch in for that hog, what do you say? If you bring me the entire coop, I will. I'll take her help. Out of my way, you feathered rat. And if something bad happens, I happen to be out of food, which I don't think I am. Chicken fancy! Ah! I'm doing quite badly. Ah! Okay, yay. Oh. Ah. 30. B. Not the worst, but I can live with it. No money to try again. I think like what throws me about that one that I didn't quite process until now. You did well, lass. These will do. Here, for your hard work. Thank you, Mr. Wilhelm. I'll be eating well tonight, that's for certain. What was I saying? Yeah, so the white chickens seem to come back fastest. Uh-oh. Oh, if you run out of something you do, just game over. Uh-oh. Well, okay. Do I have... Oh, I have so much bread. Well, let me go do the other... Let me go do the conversations, but choose the other options so I can get, maybe get my suspicion down a little bit. You have to circle all the way around. Let's see. She's been doing divinations. I don't think those work anyhow. It's all old wives' tales and whatnot. Still, Lilies, it could be harmful if she goes too far. With this witch nonsense about town, too. It may have been her who brought us all these crows, even. Oh, for goodness sake, Mrs. Lorelei. It's funny that our Lorelei hasn't fronted for one of these streams yet. Honestly, Lorelei, we can't go around and making accusations left and right. She would never do such a thing, Mrs. Lorelei. Alright, alright. You don't all have to pounce on me like that. Yeah. Folks are making merry amongst these crows like it's nothing. As they should, folks. Fretting and riling each other up over some birds wouldn't do us any good. Still, Elise, we've never had crows gather here like this. It's an omen, lass. You're either mocking us all, or you're somehow... Now, old Yolkin, you know what Father Hans said. What did he say, Mr. Ludwig? Fools, all of you. Told old Yolkin not to spread rumors about town, is all. It was about time, I'd say. You shouldn't rile folks up, Elise. We must stay civil. Bah, I've always been civil, and look where it got me. In a town filled to the brim with utter fools, that's where. For goodness sake. Yup. I will save over that real quick. There she is, catch her. Huh? Come play Kiss the Rat with us, Elise. Aren't you sick, Apfel? Not anymore. I've been at home resting all day. Apfel hates Kiss the Rat, but he can watch us. Oh, please, Elise, please. Alright, for goodness sake. You don't have to beg. Hooray, hooray! Hurry up, I want to go play hide-and-seek next. I will take Rosemarine's help. Once more. Keep her out of trouble. Gross. I don't want this stinky rat anywhere near me. So X if it's blue. Circle if it's yellow. What? Ah! Ah! Yeah!
3, 2, 1, go!
Go! Ah, too early. Good heavens. Okay. Score 64, rank B. So probably about as good as I score was as it did the other time. That's okay. Keep things mixed up a little bit. Oh, Jakob, you messed it up. We almost had her. It's not my fault, Gruna. You can take this, Elise. You deserve it more than Jakob. Same amount of money. I barely won. I have to get better at this game. Training for every Ganondorf boss fight by playing Kiss the Rat on loop. Okay. Everything happened. I'm gonna go all in. It's dusk. So let's have a look at the map. Can meet Freya at the inn. But I do think I want to spend my money there anyway. It's as though you've never had a fever yourself, Old Jochen. The lad was crying out to the witch, Mechtild. Where exactly did you hear such nonsense, Mr. Jochen? Ah, Elise, finally someone to talk some sense into this fool. Lisbeth herself said the lad was delirious, lass. Mrs. Lisbeth never said anything about a witch, Mr. Jochen. You ought to stop spreading this nonsense about town. Folks are already tense enough as is, Jochen. Old Stefan warned us about this, Mechtild. If I may ask, Old Jochen, what's so special about Old Stefan's word? I must say I'm curious too. Old Stefan knew Kieferberg was to face many trials, lass. And now we're seeing them right before our eyes. What about the witch, then? The more I actually read dialogue, the more I'm like slipping into the voices anyway. I can't resist. I'm a born thespian or some shit like that. Very true. I'm yet to see her out and about, Jochen. Time will reveal all, I say. Wow! To run all the way into every corner of town where no one has ever been, just in case. I was wondering, Elise, don't you find it strange the crows are still hanging about town? Now that you mention it, I already got the testament. There's no real reason for them to stay. Unless there's something else they want from you, Elise. Such as? Oh, I wouldn't know. Something else they're wanting. They've guided you to the windmill. I suppose that was nice of them. Ah, how nice of them indeed. It may be they're waiting to tell you something else. We'll see about that, Rosemarine. Understood, Maddie. Oh, but my auntie's going to... What have you done now, Molly? God, I forgot that, like, nobody gets this kid's name right. Ah, Elise. It's not what you think. I didn't... She stole one of Mrs. Elma's buns she had cooling on the windowsill. No, I didn't. She gave it to me, and... Mrs. Elma had me give Molly here a good earful. Does your auntie not feed you, Molly? It's complicated. She doesn't. I'm still a growing lass, Elise. 8 buns a day isn't enough. She's so real for that. 8? Either way, Missy. It's Muffy. Why can't any of you? Stealing is never justified, alright? You can come to me if you ever need anything. Oh, Lebkuchen. If only Elise was as kind as you. Why you? Maybe it's best you go home to rest, Lebkuchen. I'll go with you. Then you can get me some pretzels. Oh, for goodness sake, Mindy. Why don't you go ask Granny Gretel? Tell her I sent you. She'll give you anything you want. Hooray, hooray! Silly's goose. I don't... entirely feel like taking a lot of time to talk to people right now. I want to look around and see if I can find the guy who might have the key. Or, I mean, who does have the key. Just need to see if I can get it from him. There's Freya. It's you, isn't it? I must apologize, lass. To me, Mr. Bernard. Had we believed you last night, we could have prepared ourselves. I can't say I see how, if I'm honest. We could have locked the granary, for starters. Makes one wonder why they're perched here in Kieferberg. It's a rare sight, that's for certain. Oh, I just realized I never took my BRB down. Ugh. Did I read this line? Have you seen crows here before, Bernard? A long time ago, almost 20 years ago. It wasn't nearly as bad as this, however. It's best we have a word with Father Hans. About what, Mr. Heinrich? Kieferberg needs some direction, Elise. I must agree, Heinrich. Gustav's struggling to find common ground with Father Hans, too. It is true Father Hans doesn't seem too concerned, that's for certain. We must tell him his folks need him. They feel Mr. Gustav and Father Hans aren't seeing eye to eye, huh? Different pair of dudes over here. Best not get too close, lass. Lord knows they might swoop down for that brooch of yours. Aren't you making too much of it, Mr. Tristan? No, he's right, Elise. It is dangerous. I can't seem to settle down with these crows flying about. And Apfel's fever, too. What if it's contagious? Apfel's feeling better already, Mr. Tristan. Father Hans is urging us to stay calm, folks. We must see to our duties, nothing more. Easier said than done, Ludwig. Mr. Tristan. There was a theft, Tristan. Nothing strange about that. Apfel's fever was just that, a fever. And I'd wager these crows will give up on our grain soon enough, too. I'm still not convinced, Ludwig. I suppose neither of them will let me through. Well, let me go see if I can find Father Hans or Gustav. Real quick, Daisy and... There's never anyone down here. Then if not, I'll go on my little Freya date. Children. I was starting to think you wouldn't come about, Elise. We have yet to discuss what happened last night. What about it, Father? Those crows you claim to have seen. Are they same ones that... Are you expecting me to know them by name, or... I'm asking you nicely, Elise. Let's not try each other's patience. I know as much as you do, Father. If that's all you have to ask me, then I'd rather... No, that's not all, Elise. I must ask you to mind your words in town, lass. Oh, for goodness sake. You having claimed to see those crows last night is rather... What does this have to do with me, exactly? Folks don't know any better, Elise. This is rather... If that's the case, then I'd recommend having a word with old Yokin instead. He's the one terrorizing Mrs. Oatley day and night. Old Yokin's a different matter altogether, lass. In that case, I believe we're very much done here, Father. Okay, well. I don't believe that's a new dialogue, I just never checked that particular door. I do wonder where Gustav is. He might be out. This a ways. Well, I'm not running any further than this for now. I have such a soft spot for waltzes. I love a good waltz. I'm dying. Ooh. Okay, that's good to keep in mind. There's... Hearty soup is very cost-effective when I need both of those stats fixed up. Let me see if I have anything to sell. Acorns and mushrooms. And the bandages all do health. Hearts, but the... bandages are a little less. Yeah, give me... Let me do one of those. The ointment... Selling the ointment is a little tempting too, but I might want it. Okay. Then we get a oil. A delectable oil. Goodbye! She's so cool. Go ahead and drink that. Okay. There she is. I'll spend some time with her. Enjoying yourself, are you?
It is.
How do I can, like... I feel like I have such a hard time distinguishing how I do Freya's voice. Get a big drink of water real quick. Okay. Yeah. Oh, Elise. I'm so glad you're here. I was losing my wits. Starting to roll over my wires.
そうね。
Mrs. Wilma's been giving you a hard time, I wager. I don't want to be mean, but she can be a little pushy. Ill-bred and ungrateful, that's what she is. You can't say that, Elise.
エリーゼだ。
Elise! All of Kieferberg would agree with me, and you know it. Sit now, let's stop talking about Mrs. Wilma for a moment. You put up with too much of these folks' nonsense, Freya. I don't have much of a choice the way I see it. Yes, you do, Freya. Folks have always praised me left and right, Elise. I can't help but feel I ought to live up to their expectations. You don't have to live up to anything, you know that.
分かってるけど。
You wouldn't understand, Elise. Huh? Daisies truly do suit you best, don't they?
たく。
You keep avoiding the subject, Freya. Not on purpose. If you're not serious about this, put up with this nonsense all you want, Freya.
分かってるけど。
Oh, I know it's silly. Honestly, you're rather witless at times, you know. I'll see you about town.
エリーゼ。
Elise. Oh. I don't quite feel like that went how it should. How do I... Triangle. Right, give me my map as well. Lib cooking at the bakery, dinner with Rosenmarine. Oops. What's been playing? Problem with like playing certain games in my spare time and certain games on stream. Makes it very easy to mix up what buttons do what at all possible times. Another one, I see. Huh? Say, what is it you're meeting him for? I don't think that's any of your business. Let me tell you something, then. Forsake all you think you know about yourself. What do you mean? There's no amount of determination that can save you from him. Once you're in those woods, once you go through that door... What? You'll be left with nothing but harrowing regret. Why are you telling me all this? Okay, bye-bye. Apple strudel. Tell me about apple strudel. +4. Okay. Rosemarine's right. I have to find a way to get in here. Asking around town should be enough, but... I'll give a little jaunt and see if what's-his-name is out and about. Was this his stable or someone else's? puppy doggy. I'm actually getting a little... Yeah, well, here's a gaggle of people. There's so few people out at night, I will go around and talk to them all. Everything will be alright, I'm certain. Is everything alright? We were talking about Kieferberg, Elise. Guido can't make his mind about leaving, which is a little... You want to leave, Mrs. Brunhild? Well, I can't say for certain, but... It's a shame, isn't it? Folks used to want to move here, not the other way around. I've been discussing it with Finn, too. He's rather hesitant. We all know where you land in this argument, don't we, Elise? I suppose you do, Mrs. Marielle. Oh, I'm so torn about it. I came here from Primmeldorf, after all, if I were to go back. Oh, enough, Brunhild, I'm losing my mind. And there's them too. There's someone roaming about on her own over here. Long day today, was it, dearie? For you too, Mrs. McTild? Not at all, I had a lovely nap just earlier. I can't remember the last time I took a nap. Let's call it the perks of old age, my dear. There aren't many, but I make the most of it. You're rather cheery, Mrs. McTild. Why, most of the crows are gone, Elise. That's a relief, I must say. Makes one wonder why, doesn't it? Sure does, Mrs. McTild, sure does. It is a little funny that a lot of the members of town are, like, acting increasingly suspicious in their own ways. I don't know if it'll turn out at all meaningful, but... Hello? On your way home, are you? Rest assured, Mr. Bernard, I'm about to leave. Afraid the lass will be taken by the crows, Bernard. We'd best not jest, old lad. What about you two? Still worried about the crows? I wish they'd leave already, that's what. They're just resting here, I'd say. They didn't hurt anyone or try to steal anything else. It's not as though they necessarily had to, Mr. Bernard. Doesn't sit right with me is all. Speaking of which, I'm concerned about Eugene. He's been rather cheery for someone who's been robbed, don't you think? I'd say he seems fine to me. Folks like him, Elise. Oftentimes they're misleading you to think they're in good health. What makes you think that, Mr. Wilhelm? Eugene isn't one to share his thoughts, lass. The lad's the same as always, as though nothing happened. We must make certain he isn't left on his own for long stretches of time, lest he... What an invocation. Just leave it, just throw it out there into the open air. Something weird about it being, like, dark and quiet in the church. Nobody up top like usual. I mean, it isn't as if it's like it's so strange, because it is late at night. What? Wait, Elise. There you are, lassie. Huh? We need to have a word with you, Elise. A word with me, you say? Your cousin's been going about town spreading nonsense, Elise. Such as? Why, saying the crows are nothing to fret about, for instance. I mean, again, my suspicion's low. She's a kind soul, Mrs. Elma. She isn't afraid of any animals, on the contrary. I see how that might be true, Elise, but still. We're to be wary of such things, not make little of them. I understand, Mrs. Elma. This is dangerous. I have to make certain I bring Rosemarine to work with me, or I'll have to deal with this every day. Oh, so even if I pass time doing a date... Oh, but I don't think... No, my suspicion still didn't go up, at least. I feel like I could have run by without even noticing her over here. Eek! Oh, please, Elise, don't tell my auntie. What in the Lord's name are you doing out here, Melly? I've had it with her, Elise. She always wants me working all day. Perhaps she needs your help, Mindy. She only likes me when I'm working. I'm certain she wouldn't look for me if I went missing. You haven't seen Apfel by chance, have you? I was looking about, but... That's alright, Molly. You won't tell my auntie, will you? Not after what you've just told me, no. Still, you'd best not try her patience too much, you hear? Oh, Elise. Since you like me so much, won't you give me some... For goodness sake, Miffy. I know, Elise. I haven't said anything yet, have I? You don't have to, Elise. What am I to do with you, Lebkuchen? At least tell me you'll get a good night's sleep tonight. If nobody else breaks into a fever, I might. Here's your bread, Elise. What's on your mind, Lebkuchen? Things that would upset you, Elise. I'm not certain you trust me at all. I trust you enough to not ask you about it. You keep coming back to this, Leb. If there's... I meant it, Elise. You don't have to tell me. Whatever it is you can't tell me, I won't pry. You trust me that much, huh? Even if you truly were the witch. Lebkuchen. I mean it, Elise. I trust you'll tell me in time, whenever you're ready. You're truly tired. For someone who's so attentive to others, Lebkuchen, you're not. I'll see you about town tomorrow. For goodness sake, you're so stubborn. She really is a sweetie. Elise! Elise, come quick! What's the matter, Jakob? It's Apfel, he's gone missing. What? Oh, please come quick, Elise. Uh-oh. We must go and look for him. That's right, we can't sit about waiting forever. What's going on here? Apfel's gone missing, Elise. Hopefully the lads will find him on their patrol. They will happen upon him, I'm certain. They don't know he's missing, Father. By the time they're back, my poor boy could have... Mama.
We all need to remain calm.
Calm, Father, my boy's missing. Lord knows if he's alright, let alone if the worst has happened. We all knew those crows were an omen. Not this again, you old wretch. Ought to have taken the lad to the witch. What a horrible thing to say, old Yokin. You truly have no decency, you...
We cannot give in to hysteria, brethren.
Oh, to think the lads went out in search of crows. The crows were a threat, lass. Oh, that's it. I'm going looking for him myself. I'll go. Let me be the one to go, Mrs. Lisbeth. It's best we wait for the lads. I can't allow... Oh, will you really, Elise? Now there's a brave lass. Oh, but Father Hans is right. It's dangerous. Leave it to me, Mrs. Lisbeth. Oh, Elise. I do not condone your disobedience, Elise. I do. I need you to go, Elise, for Angelica's sake as well. Angelica. Truly, the poor lass can't be without a mother. We can lend a hand with whatever you need, Elise. You'd best make certain you have enough food and matches, dear. I'll be here, Elise. Let me know when you're leaving. Little goody two-shoes. What a twist. Save my proggy. My Elise, I wasn't expecting you to volunteer of all people. That was rather brave of you, Elise. I couldn't sit still and do nothing. My, how fearless. Truly, with all this talk about the witch and whatnot. If only the lads were in town. Who knows, they might find him out and about. They don't even know how to look for Outfield, Elise. It could happen nonetheless, Wilma. Do you have everything you need, Elise? I believe I do, Mrs. Elma. Why don't you take this? Yeah, more bandages. It's not much, I know. Thank you, Mrs. Elma. Well, don't expect any charity from me, lassie. Be careful, Elise. Some people in this town are gonna be haters no matter what, huh? First it was that awful fever, and now this. Mrs. Lisbeth looks horrified. I can't even imagine. We can only hope he hasn't broken into a fever again, wherever he is. What? All you can do is bring him back to Kieferberg as fast as you can, Elise. There's only so much one can do, after all. Oh, I wouldn't know what to do if this happened to me. You'd best keep a close eye on Maggie, Mrs. Lorelei. Mary, she can look after herself just fine, lass. Even her own relatives don't get her name right? Better than most folks here in Kieferberg, I'd say. Mrs. Lorelei, poor Mandy is still a child. Oh, there's much you don't yet know about her, Dorothy. Such as? She wouldn't let herself starve, for starters. Well... Oh, I'm certain he's all right, dearie. I can only hope you're right, Mrs. Marielle. We must keep a positive outlook, Mrs. Lisbeth. I thought you didn't condone my disobedience, Father. My duty is to care for my brethren's well-being, Elise. You ought to be aware it is dangerous. The lass couldn't bear the thought, Father. We can't leave We can't leave Apfel roaming the woods all by himself. Lord knows how sick he was yesterday. If that fever were to strike him again in those woods, I'll make certain I find him, Mrs. Lisbeth. I appreciate it, Elise, but if you find it's too dangerous... Elise will find him, Lisbeth. We must trust the lass. Here you go, Elise. Please be careful. Ointment. Thank you, Mrs. Lisbeth. We will make certain to send the lads after you when they arrive. Don't wander off too far, you hear? Thank you, Elise. Sir? Couple more batches of folks. Let me go with you, Elise. You're not going anywhere, Jakob. I'm a man too. Apfel needs us, Granny. Elise doesn't need you getting in her way, Jakob. Your mother's right, Jakob. I wouldn't get in the way, I wouldn't. I can't look after you and myself at the same time, do you understand? Oh, but I wouldn't. We must trust Elise, Jakob. I know you're hurting, Jakob, but she's right. Mama. I'll do my best to find him, Jakob, I promise. All right, Elise. Oh, Elise, maybe it's best one of us goes with you. I'll be fine, Mrs. McTild. You can always change your mind, Elise. Lebkuchen's right, Elise. Who's to go if I don't, Freya? Well, that's... It's a good thing that you volunteered, Elise. You're a capable lass, I'm certain you'll find him. Thank you, Mrs. Ariana. I'm wondering how we didn't notice. It's no use blaming ourselves now, Mrs. McTild. The children told Mrs. Dorothy that they lost sight of Apfel. Sometime before nightfall, it seems. Apfel was feeling all right. It may be that... What, Freya? Perhaps he felt ill and didn't want anyone to fret. Oh, don't say such a thing. Apfel couldn't have wandered too far anyhow. It'll be fine. Oh, Elise. I'm going anyway, Freya. I know, but... If anything were to happen to you, Elise... I'll be alright, Freya, I promise. Apfel got lost somewhere. I'm certain that's all there is to it. May the Lord be with you, Elise. Nope. Okay. A few more goodies in case we get hurt. Mrs. Lorelai's too hard on Molly, I'll give her that. Don't think there would be anybody else out here anywhere. I can't be wondering about. I must find Apfel. Here. Let me save again. Oh, all the crows are gathering here now. Let's see this. Oh, and it rolls into the witching hour. Oh, and it's over here again. Here I am again. I ought to find Apfel and fast. Once again, too fast for me to quite read. I can't run right now either. What is that in the back? I don't think that was there before. I don't know for sure. This thing. Well. Oh, hello. That crow's trying to tell me something, I suppose. What if I go this way still? No choice but to go the other way, I suppose. Oh, okay. I believe you. Truck, 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 truck.
これ
This isn't where I was yesterday, is it? Apfel? Apfel, can you hear me? I have to find him. Goodness knows what could have happened to him by now. Story event available. Oh, look for him in the woods. Oh, the nasty little moon symbol. That's fun. I'm my lantern now, so I don't know what the creeping shadows mean. Mosaic slab. What's this thing? A tile? Oh, and those things. Still. Another tile. Oh, I can run again. I've just been trotting about. Ignorance is bliss. Has nobody ever told you that? Plenty of times, I suppose. To be unable to grasp how fortunate we are until it's too late. Charmingly tragic, isn't it? I don't see what's so charming about it. You'll come face to face with it, too. The ruinous grief of your biggest, heaviest regret. What's yours, then? The same as yours? We all share the same penitence. Talking to girls like this is never a very pleasant experience, is it? Pearl Rosary. That sounds like it might be a quite valuable item. Fetches a moderate price. Okay. This wall, it's a mosaic. It's missing pieces, isn't it? Missing pieces, missing pieces. That's what I said, thank you very much. Do we have a... I don't quite have time to wonder about this, do I? I should move along and find out, Phil. She's witness, she's witness. Why, you little... Well, it looks like it's a one of them sliding puzzles, but... I truly don't have time to bother with this thing. Apfel could be in danger. And it won't let me sliding them. But I think I've got one more to find. Hello? Okay. Yep. Another one. How many of these are there? Okay, yeah, I was like, surely. Oh. Yep. I'm not good at these. Let's see. Was it? Oh, okay. I kind of did on accident. This is my house. No, it can't be. I'm imagining things. I don't have time for this nonsense. I ought to find Apfel. Anyway, yeah, I don't remember if I managed to save these VODs in time. They'd be like, if I did, they'd probably be the first things on the YouTube, but I might have missed them. But when I played Ghost Trick on stream, pretty sure there were a couple of those sliding puzzles, and I managed to... Did I do those on stream? That might have been optional. I don't remember. Ceramic Grove of Wheat. I'm gonna jaunt about and see if there are any other big potteries that I might want to... smack around a bit. More acorns. What's that? Did I full-on run into the wall? Where the spikes is? Or was I not looking for half a second and something jumped out at me? Oh, nope, I ran into the wall. What in the Lord's name? Oh. That's my house. I must be losing my mind. The shoes and the snake and the birds and the little demon and this thing. And another acorn. Oh. Gnarly. What is this? My house. My progeny, Elise. Who's there? Come closer, Elise. Delve deeper. Into my grove. What in the Lord's name? Your fate, Elise, your genesis is in the tapestry. This isn't Granny's spindle. Nothing that's in here is real. It can't be. Completely destroyed, the old spindle leans dramatically supported by its last remaining wooden leg. The whole upper floor is missing. Now leading nowhere, the staircase's wrinkly and damaged steps are suspended as though floating in midair. Such a foul smell. Thick crimson blood overflows from the cauldron's shattered rim, coating everything in its viscous sheen. And then this thing. That woman, she wished for a child of her own. At his doorstep she kneeled and she prayed, not to me, but to him. My grove became the vessel, my soil the babe's mortal body. In my very womb, they celebrated their agreement. From him came what I lacked, what I failed to lay my hands upon. A human soul, to be nurtured in my womb, and later given to her, as her daughter. Ugh. When in truth, it's me your body belongs to, Elise. What in the Lord's name? There's something under that tapestry. Oh. Ugh. This dough, its insides have been... my womb, used for that woman's wish. I was used. Used? What in the Lord's name is going on here? What are these voices trying to tell me? You're wearing my brooch still. Huh? What is one to do when the Lord fails them, would you say? Wait, what are you? Our union was favored by the Lord himself, and yet my inability to bear a child drove a wedge between us. Who are you? So I did what I could. I resorted to his blessing instead. I brought him my beloved in exchange for a baby. Wait, you can't be. All I can say to you, Elise, who's following in my steps, is that this is what my soulmate would have wanted me to do. For my sake, for our union's sake, and for yours as well. That lass, it's as if she knew me. I don't know what's going on here, but I can't stay here any longer. I ought to find and save Apfel. Wow. Whatever was in the center is gone, I suppose. Several candles stand in a circle surrounding an old, blood-stained piece of cloth. Much to think about. Oh, there's a acorn. Acorn. Oh. The accursed oak. Apfel. Hold tight, I'll get you out of there. The blood moon. Let's get you out of there and go home. What? Freya? The woodland, this grove, it's aching. Freya? Your flesh, your blood, your love. All that's rightfully mine, my progeny. This thing's not Freya. I can give you all that you desire. What? My beloved daughter. What are you? This lass, Freya. Is she the one your heart desires? What are you? They're coming. We will meet again. A vile stench, a vile stench. Tainting our grove, tainting our grove. It's you. The lad's staying where he is, lassie. The lad's staying, the lad's staying. Apfel, come now. Elise. Quickly, Apfel, we have to leave this place. That creature's brought him right into our beaks, lass. We're not about to waste a hearty meal. A hearty meal, a hearty meal. Ah, my eye. Come, Mapfil. We'll curse you, we'll curse you. Dare not defy me, leave the lad. We'll devour him, we'll devour him. Uh-oh. That's not good. Apfel, run! I can't move, Elise. He's mimicking my movements. My legs, they're moving on their own. We have to leave this place, Apfel. Elise, I'm scared. Come, Apfel, we have to move. Okay. I see. What the fuck? I can kind of see the ones that look like they're gonna fall, like they twitch. Okay. Elise! My eye! Where are we going? Watch your step, Apfel. We'll find a way. Okay, well, at least I get to heal again, or save again. I'm not super worried about the little bit of lost life. I feel like it's better to... Oh. Oh, what? Huh? What? What? Huh? Okay. Yay. God, I feel like I'm... I don't want to start healing yet. Okay. Mildly stressful. Go ahead and heal it. Save again. Why am I mixing that up so much? Elise, I can't see where I'm going. Don't wander around too much, Apfel. Try to follow my voice. Elise, where are you? It's alright, Apfel. Walk in a straight line. I'll be watching over you. I feel dizzy, Elise. Trust me, Apfel. I'm right here. I must make certain I don't lose sight of him. Oh. Wow! Oh, he fell. Okay, so what do I need to what do I need to be doing here? Exactly. Oh, I can step all the way out onto... Ow! Oh. Okay. With that done, I'm gonna oint up a little bit. I don't care if I get hurt a little bit by birds. More. Oh, maybe we're good. Are you alright, Apfel? Elise, I feel dizzy. Wait for me, I'm coming for you. Where did he? Oh, right here. Elise! I'm with you now, Apfel. It'll be alright. Let's go now, back to Kieferberg. Good gracious. Mama! Oh, thank heavens you're alright. Mama, Apfel. I was so scared, Mama. You are right now, my boy. Oh, Apfel, I thought I'd never see you again. It's alright, my loves. We're together now. What a relief. Good Lord, Elise, you really did find him. It wasn't easy, that's for certain. Atta girl, Elise. Folks told us all about it. We were about to set off after you. I did kind of forget Gustav has been, like, out searching for more signs of horses or thieves or whatnot. This is a moment to celebrate, folks. Prepare us a feast. We'll know we're drinking to Elise tonight. Oh, how wonderful. I'll get right to it. can't compromise the festival, Wilma. There's nothing better to celebrate than this, Father. Well, that's right, Father. We ought to celebrate. To the end, folks. To the end. Elise! What are you doing here, Rosemarine? You weren't coming back, so I came back for you. I saw you coming back with Apfel. He got lost in the woods. I went to look for him is all. Oh, but is he alright? Say, Rosemarine, you've been home this whole time. Haven't you? Ah, yes. I made supper and everything. You were taking so long, I thought. Come, Elise, we ought to celebrate. I'll be right there, Mr. Heinrich. You head on home, Rosemary. Oh, alright. I won't take too long, alright? I'll be home waiting for you, Elise. Join folks by the end. Hold on a minute. I'm gonna save up real quick. Then I gotta... Whoops, muted a second too soon. I gotta be right back again. Okay. Did a little reblog of my promo post over on Tumblr. Since we're halfway through time. Ah, there she is. Oh, Elise, how can I ever repay you? That's alright, Mrs. Lisbeth. There's no need to. Nonsense, Elise. You saved him after all. How's Apfel? Him and Angelica are inside having their supper. I'm too fatigued to join you at the inn, but... That's alright, Mrs. Lisbeth. I won't be staying long either. Oh, if only my goats weren't so ill. I have nothing to give you as a thank you, Elise. Don't fret over such things, Lisbeth. Come, I'll keep you company. We'll all pitch in to thank Elise tomorrow. There's truly no need. I did what I felt I should. Would you mind telling me more about how you found him tomorrow, Elise? Of course, Mrs. Lisbeth. You too, Elise. See that you get plenty of rest tonight. Still the occasional crow hanging around. No good at all, perhaps. Good gracious. Atta girl, Elise. Kiefer owes you a great debt, lass. Lord knows what could have happened had it not been for you. I was lucky, is all. No, Elise, I owe you an apology. What matters is that Apfel is safe and sound, Father. Heinrich's right. We have good reason to celebrate. Bottoms up, everyone. To Elise, our bravest lass. To Elise! To Elise! Oh, you don't have to. Nonsense, lass. This is better than the festival, even. A great deal better, indeed. It's our chance to unwind, folks. Why don't you grab some ale and go grab Freya for a dance, Elise? Ah, yes. We're drinking all night long, lads. To Elise! Silly. Oh, that's Eugene. Oh. Well, we'll bug her around and talk to everyone. Oh, I thought I'd never see you again, lass. I always planned on coming back, Mrs. Odley. There's no need to say that, Mrs. Odley. We're all glad you're safe and sound, Elise, both of you. I must say I'm surprised you found him, Elise. Those woods go on forever. It wasn't easy, I suppose. You suppose? Oh, but did you see her, Elise? Mrs. Odley. Always with that wretched witch on your mind, aren't you? We're here to celebrate, not waste our time with this nonsense. We would have lost the poor lad if it weren't for... Ah, there she is, our bravest lass. You're making too much of it, Mr. Heinrich. Not at all, Elise. It's all thanks to you. We wouldn't have made it in time, that's for sure. For certain. Same difference. I must say I'm curious to learn more about... None of that matters, Ludwig. Tonight is for celebrating. I won't hear another word about that nonsense. I don't think I'll be staying for long anyhow. Drink up, both of you. Elise is much too young to drink, Heinrich. Why, how old are you again, Elise? I'm 18, Mr. Heinrich. I turned 19 this year. There you go, Ludwig. She can handle a glass or two, I'm certain. Maybe some other day, Mr. Heinrich. Atta girl, Elise. All of Kieferberg's in your debt, lass. Lord knows what could have happened had it not been for you. I was lucky, is all. No, Bernard's right, Elise. I owe you an apology. What matters is that Apfel is safe and sound. That said, Gustav, we'd best learn from this ordeal. We mustn't leave Kieferberg to the women again, that's true. What's your problem? I'd say the women handled it rather well, Father. She's got you there, old lad. If not for me, I'm certain the others would have ventured out to find him. That's for certain. Marlene wouldn't have waited long either. Freya was getting ready to follow right after you, Elise. They were gathering to head out when we arrived. We are fortunate to have you, Elise. Enough talk, let's celebrate. Why don't you grab some ale and go grab Freya for a dance, Elise? Ah, yes. Some of the dialogue repeated there, but all of Kieferberg's in your debt, lass. It's the least I could have done, if I'm honest. Truly, it could have been much worse. I feared for Jacob too, Jakob. Whatever. Not even real. Is he alright, Mrs. Marley? He's home with Linda. It took a lot of effort to settle him for bed, even after you came back, Elise. I see. It's best we never head out on patrol all at the same time again. Truly, this could have been avoided. It's best we pay poor Lisbeth a visit before we settle in. I wouldn't be able to sleep not knowing how she's doing. I'll go with you. Jakob will like to know if Phil is alright. I wouldn't know what we would have done without you, dearie. Oh, I only did what I had to, Mrs. Marielle. You're like one of the lads, Elise. When it comes to bravery, most certainly. Ah, I suppose... You must be exhausted, my dear. I won't be staying long, Mrs. Marielle. Say, I know it's a cookie thing to ask, but... You didn't happen to see the witch, did you? Oh, Brunhild. Why ask such a thing on a day like this? Oh, but old Jochen said Apfel was taken by the... There was no witch, Mrs. Brunhild. Apfel got lost in the woods, that's all there is to it. Oh, that's such a relief. The sneaky hydrator. It's really funny to have, like, all the festivities, but the witching hour evil monster moon is still... I guess not really even very monstery, but... Still... feels out of place somewhat. Atta girl, Elise. I couldn't have done it better myself, lass. You two have had quite a bit of ale, haven't you? What better occasion could we have to celebrate? The festival is only a couple days away, Mr. Guido. This is better than the festival, Elise. A great deal better indeed. I'd trust you with my baby's life, lass. Oh, that's... You're a hero, Elise. No other way to put it. You can't leave Kieferberg now, can you? We're drinking to Elise tonight. Drinking to Elise tonight, we are. Couple of goobers. There's our lass. I'm so glad to see you're alright, my dear. You must have been so frightened, poor thing. The woods aren't the most inviting, that's for certain. We're fortunate the lad wasn't taken by the witch, that's what. This is a time to celebrate, old lad. Old Wilhelm's right, we ought to be glad nothing happened. Apfel didn't speak of such things, that's for certain. And I certainly didn't see anything, of course. There's no need to justify yourself, Elise. Make the most of your night, you hear? Oh, it must have been so frightening, Elise. I'd say it was more frightening for Apfel. It's one thing after another with him, isn't it? How is he, Elise? He seemed a little dazed, if I'm honest. No wonder, the poor lad was lost in the woods for hours. Oh, I'll stop by Mrs. Lisbeth's first thing in the morning. She must be exhausted. I can't let Apfel speak of what we saw in the woods. That thing wasn't Freya. Just the same as on Tuesday, that wasn't Rosemary. Is everything alright, Elise? I was wondering if I'd worried you, is all. Oh, it's a little embarrassing, but... Freya was gathering everyone to go after you, Elise. You truly take after your father, don't you, Freya? Mrs. Ariana. I'd wager you're as exhausted as... I'd wager you're as exhausted as Apfel, Elise. I won't stay for long, Mrs. Ariana. We ought to celebrate while we can, then. Why don't we all have some ale? I think that's everybody. Without bothering to leave the area, I doubt there's anyone anywhere else. Elias loves Adelie. This must have been left by some guests, I guess. There you are, Elise, the girl of the hour. Are you alright, Mr. Eugene? Not you too, Elise. A man has to make the most of what he's got left. Don't tell me ale is all you've got, Mr. Eugene. Why don't you take this, Elise? Windmill key. The key? I won't be needing that where I'm going, that's for certain. Mr. Eugene. You be careful, Elise. These folks aren't to be trusted. Blaming the witch for what happened to my horses. They're all in on it, that's what. I can't very well tell him it really was the witch, can I? Kieferberg this, Kieferberg that. You're the only one in town who's not enamored with this rat-hole of a town, Elise. Ah, I suppose. Get away while you can, lest this place ruins you like it's ruined me. Poor guy. Mr. Eugene's right. I must do this. I'll head up to that windmill and get this over with. Okay. Can I do that now? Well, nobody's, doing fuck all up here? Oh, they've put a save point. That's haunting. Ugh. Good gracious, I'm trying to check something on my phone real quick, but it is not opening. Okay. Okay. I got to get in there and get this over with. Do I have to use the key? Oh. You've come, you've come. Ugh. The gift, lass, the tender flesh. I've come here to do just that, you wretch. Show it to me, show it to me. Your ardor, your longing for that wish of yours. I've already been to your grove, I've cleared your trial. What else is it you want from me? Your commitment, your commitment. Show it to me, lassie, your commitment. Oh. Chop kick. Wow, the game's all fucked up now. Okay, my bad. Show me your commitment by playing Wario with it. The, like, frantic, slightly glitchy version of the minigame music is really something. flesh. My bird cookie. That crow. It's gone. It's got my hair in it. It'll do, I suppose. It's best I get out of here. The sooner the better. Hello? When did I... It's that dream again, but I was... in town just now. Okay. Grimmeldorf? I believe? Oh, do I get this segment again? You again. Didn't you hear me? We'll be late for his banquet if you don't hurry. Banquet? What are you... So cool. I don't know how much spare food I have. I guess I just got some breads from Lebkuchen. Huh? It's morning already. I don't feel like I got any sleep at all. It's best I go find Rosmarine. Do I have something that does... do I want to go and use that? I might as well. How... Oh. That's funny. Huh. I don't know if that's going to be relevant that I somehow accidentally still have the wheat. Hello?
Hi.
I'm begging you, Flock. What's going on out there?
Hello, wife interruption.
Wife interruption. It's no use going in the pantry, is it? There's nothing to eat in this house. What the hell?
What the? Kill that guy. Who's in here today? I don't know who that is.
It's been a bit of a quiet one. Bit of a calm day. Oh, please stay put, Flock. What's gotten into him? At least he's throwing a temper tantrum is all. I didn't know goats could do such a thing. I had my hands full with breakfast. I couldn't give him much attention. It's what you get for spoiling him so much, that's what. I know, but I can't resist his sweet little hops. I can't resist his sick hops and the way he dunks the ball. You're truly... Are you feeling better today, Elise? You still haven't told me about what happened. I can't tell her the full extent of it, can I? Not about what I saw in the woods or about her. Are you listening, Elise? Huh? You were telling me about the woods.
そうね
Apfel got lost in the woods, that's all. He truly is the greatest of all time. Goat! The goatest of all time. Recursive acronym. I went in there to rescue him, I suppose. You're not telling me the whole truth, are you?
エリーゼ
Elise,
あのさ
there's someone in those woods, Rosemarine. I don't know who they are or what they want from me, but I've felt their presence there since Monday.
それは
Someone in the woodland, you say? I'm certain they heard Apfel or lured him in, even. Have you seen that old hag again, Elise? The one who told you about him in the testaments? I haven't seen that old hag since then, but that Rosemarine I met in the woods. I don't know what to make of any of this, do I?
あの
Elise? Come, Rosemarine, we should move along. Oh, it's best you go ahead without me, Elise. I think I'd best find Flock. I'll be right there with you. Alright. Oh, now is the goat gonna get into town and cause problems now? His gift does suit you rather well, lass. Oh. Those shoes, they'll guide you to him.
嘘でしょ
Who are you? You know who I am, Elise. You're with him, just like that crow. Quite smart, aren't you?
あのさ
This is another of his trials, I take it? Why, yes, you're truly so delightful, lass. Fortune, that's what you're after, is it? You've come to taunt me, I'm assuming. I've come to welcome you into my very own garden, Elise. You alone, lass. I won't let that wretched thing into my grove, unlike Miriam, that fool. The testament you seek rests deep within my depths, Elise. Am I to meet you there, then? My, how willful you are.
もういい加減
You're
にして
trying my patience, that's what. We both know what I'm after, Serpent, so get it over with, and... Oh. You're now the bearer of my hex, lassie, fated to meet me in my realm. Show me a resolve, your burning desire for more. Be good, behave, Elise, and I'll welcome you with open arms. You sickening wretch! I'll be awaiting you by the gates of my bedewed forest of berries, Elise. Okay, bye-bye. To hell with you. Ugh, this stings. It's best I don't alarm Rosemarine. I have to prepare myself for tonight. I must see this through. Gracious. Makes me want to do the townsfolk not... Will the townsfolk not see this one? They didn't see the... I don't want to be in here too long on account of... Don't want to drain my sanity too badly. Can't check that one, but it's a deer or perhaps a stag. Oh, I could break that. Interesting. Seraph's head. Oh. And the body. Yep. And the legs. Yep. Put the head here. Yep. Okay. I'll have to come back, I think. I've put myself in the scared dimension again, and I didn't save before coming up here for some reason. So we have to deal with this until I beat a minigame and get some money back. Actually, I suppose I could... I think I have... depends on how much the rosary sells for. $1.
That was the money in chowder.
That's true.
I know it's true. I still love her little run cycle. It's so cute. I love your little run cycle. Oh, you're cute.
Okay, well, before I talk to anybody or activate anything...
Free shit. It's like sending out a psychic waves.
That just means that's where the quest is, you silly.
I'm gonna take a little nappy, so I'll be napping in the background. Nobody cares about that. If you ever wanted a Vanya in your stream, in the background.
Okay, don't get lost.
Okay. God, she's so bad. I need her. Wait, did you say don't get lost?
Yeah?
Okay.
What's the problem?
Nothing.
I'm gonna sell my ointments. Because I want to buy a big bottle. Yep. Dodge, everybody. I'm gonna save here. That's not the way to go. Gracious. I actually wonder, I bet, but the legs go over here. Nope. Okay. Oh, I guess it has to do with how the... I was thinking, like, what the animal could represent. But I guess it's where the part of the animal that's cut off by the... little altar is. There's all kinds of wicked grabbers. Fish key. It looks like a fish. I wonder what this is for. Someone has to be behind all this nonsense. I have a very bad feeling about all this. Diary entry number 2. What's this stamped piece of paper? Belief is a complex matter, as are its various manifestations. The human need for faith has led many down the path of ruin. Pagan heretics, covenants, and non-believers, all of them are plentiful and diverse. That was until our Lord's word and glory rescued them from the pits of hell. The Lord's guidance, his benevolence, has purified deities and purged their sinful acts, converted their false pagan piety into adoration for the Lord, now as saints recognized by the Church, banished witches, their covenants and cults to revive them as leaders of faith. Saint Walpurga herself, born a witch and later baptized by the Lord. Her soul sanctified, divorced from the witch Walpurga. Saint Walpurga cannot be capable of producing such miracles, the birth of a child no less. I ought to delve deeper into our patroness's past, into what Old Holly could have meant. For the sake of Kieferberg and for all that depend on me for salvation, I must find out what exactly Old Holly saw and did years ago. I must continue my research, for Elisa's sake as well. What? If this is Father Hans's writing, what does he know about Granny Holly that I don't? And why is he doing this? I've seen this symbol before, haven't I? I ought to wonder what this means. A man-sized sigil appears chiseled into the door's gritty surface, surrounded by uneven, scattered crevices. Can I use the key here? Nope. Okay, well. Let's just bounce while I'm still... Damn it! Moments too late. I wonder what I'm stumbling upon here. These notes and keys, and these rituals of sorts. Someone ought to be putting these together for some purpose, but who? Who could be doing such a thing? Oh well. I'll progress some time, I'll do some chores, and I'll earn some money. Also, yeah, if I hadn't even thought of owl body because of the wings. If it had let me put the legs in for the deer, I was going to go and see if I could move the head, since the owls are like... Owls are associated with wisdom and stuff. That's the same as it ever was. And I'll talk to the little old lady while she's out and about. All by your lonesome today, Elise. My cousin's taking a little longer to get ready today is all. Oh, I'm so glad you're getting along, dearie. You could use the company. Why doesn't she stay here in Kieferberg? I'm not too certain about that, Granny Gretel. Say, Elise, there's a favor I'd like to ask you. Won't you keep an eye on Ned cooking for me today? Is she sick, or... She wasn't feeling her best this morning, yet insisted on going to church. That'll end cooking. You go give her a proper earful for me, will you? Maybe I'm not going to talk to everybody that I see this once, because I didn't consider that the... I do want to talk to these two, though. I didn't consider that like, low sanity whispering would play, even during dialogue and such. I wouldn't want to be a burden, Freya. Not at all, Mrs. Lisbeth. It would be my pleasure. Good morning, Elise. Is everything alright? Oh, I was inviting Mrs. Lisbeth and the children for dinner. I don't think we're ready for that yet, my dear. Well, the invitation stands, Mrs. Lisbeth. You're welcome anytime you like. How's Apfel, Mrs. Lisbeth? Oh, Elise, I have so many questions. He hasn't slept. He keeps mentioning the witch. The witch? What happened in the woods, Elise? I didn't see anything resembling a witch, that's for certain. Apfel's still frightening you, Mrs. Lisbeth. My apologies, Elise. It wasn't my intention to insinuate. That's alright, Mrs. Lisbeth. I know you meant no harm. Oh, I hope nothing else happens today. Hope for once we have a normal field trip. Okay, too bad about everyone else. We've got to clear out the blockage, folks. It's the only way. If you say so, lad.
あのさ、
What's wrong with the fountain? It's one thing after another, isn't it, Elise? We think the fountain's obstructed is all. This is all her doing, the witch. She's taken our grain and our children, and now she's after our water. We've discussed this, old lad. Finn and I can give it a look, can't we, Finn? To the best of our ability, but old Wilhelm ought to know what's wrong with it. We're to gather here at noon, folks. I want to have a word with Olive Kieferberg. You'll need me to lend a hand, father. Naturally, Gustav. What are we to do about the grain, folks? The grain? You haven't heard, lass. No, I'm yet to fully understand what's going on. Someone was in the windmill last night, Elise. It could have been the wind, or the crows still. The door was still locked this morning, lad. It was Eugene's responsibility, but it was the witch, I tell you. Give it a rest, old Jochen. I was told you left home early last night, Elise. She was certainly tired, old Jochen. Don't be unreasonable. It could have been one of us, folk. It couldn't have been one of us, folks. What about the weevils? Weevils, Mr. Ludwig. The flour and grain we had stored away are riddled with beetles, Elise. I'm not certain what we're to do with this grain now. All we can to avoid throwing it out, Ludwig. We'll become completely reliant on Primmeldorf at this rate. That witch has us at her mercy. She has all of Kieferberg in the palm of her hand, and... That's enough, folks. I've heard enough. Finn and Heinrich will take a look at the fountain later. As for the rest of us, we ought to air out that grain and do away with those beetles, starting right now. This is only riling folks up even more. I'd best go see if Lebkuchen's alright. Folks must be swarming her. Little goody two-shoes. The only thing to do is... Good gracious. Please try to keep calm, Mrs. Linda. Oh, I know. Won't you have a look at my rosary, Lebkuchen? I seem to have pulled on it a little too tightly this morning. That's no good, Ariana. No good at all. I'll tighten it for you, Mrs. Ariana, but first I ought to...
レブクー
I can help, Leibkuchen.
エリーゼ
Ah, Elise. What are you saying, lassie? A maid of all work can't possibly pray our blessings. We need Leibkuchen. Oh, where is Father Hans when we need him most? Father Hans has his own matters to attend to. I can... It's best you visit each and every one of our homes, Leibkuchen.
それはどうかな
That's... My inn, too. I'll need a prayer in each and every room before sunset. But before then, Leibkuchen, could you...
もういい加減にして
Will you folks back off a little? My, Elise, can't you see where... No good at all. Leibkuchen! Oh, who's going to pray our blessings now? We must fetch Father Hans. Someone get her some water. Leibkuchen, can you hear me? Right onto the stairs. Yeah, Narcy. We'll be taking her home, Elise. She'll be fine. All right, Mrs. Dorothy. Why don't you pay her a visit in a little while? Of course, I'll be there. I ought to go see her. She didn't deserve any of this. Okay, well. Okay, cool, yeah. Nothing important right now, just chores. Chickens is a little hard. I don't remember apples. No, I remember apples. I am gonna jaunt out just to see if... No, I don't think so. Okay, I'm not talking to anybody then. I got chores to do. I'll just do whichever one this is. Quickly, Elise, won't you pick me some apples? What's the rush, Mrs. Marlin? Why, with all that's going on, lass, Lord knows if we'll even have an orchard tomorrow. Alright, I'll do it. I'd say that's a bit of an overreaction, but it doesn't matter, Elise. Please be quick about it. I don't think I need any help on this one. How many apples do these folks need anyhow? It is messed up that it's a toll 2 extra bread to have Rose and Marine help, but it risks my suspicion if I don't have her help. Penalties either way. So good at accidentally being under the apples, the bad apples. I'm getting good at this one now. That ought to be an A rank. Oh, an S rank. I wouldn't retry if I could. You win! Oh, I'm so blessed to have you, Elise. I'll have plenty of apples even if that orchard catches fire. Why in the Lord's name would the orchard catch on fire, Mrs. Marvin? It's best we don't question such things, Elise. $60. Here you go, dear, for your time. At a town square event. Ow. Ow. Oh. Well, this thing shouldn't take time, hopefully. And then I'll be able to go to the shop and then figure out what to do with the next phase of the day. Ooh. Now that we're all gathered here, folks. Oh, we're losing our minds, Father. This week hasn't been easy for Kieferberg, as we all know. That said, we have decided to ask Primeldorf for support. Primeldorf, you say? We cannot compromise the festival at all, as you understand. Are you certain we've considered every option, Father? Kieferberg isn't what it once was, Ludwig. We need their help. We'll be patrolling the outskirts in the evenings as well. That should make sleep easier, that's for certain. The protection of Kieferberg and our neighbors is in order, folks. You made it! Thank you so much for the subscribe. The resubscribe. Finally catch some goody two-shoes. What happened to poor Rapfel was bad enough. Oh, Father, but who is to carry out our nightly prayers? Naturally, the church's doors will be open to all regardless. What about the windmill and the fountain? There's still water in the well, Wilma, no need to fret. Oh, but who knows how long that well will last? It's not as though that fountain's sustaining the well, is it? What would you know, lassie? I'm at a loss regarding the fountain, if I'm honest. Wasn't there some sort of blockage, Mr. Ludwig? We're going to have to disassemble it. Why doesn't she try it, Finn? With those toothpick fingers of hers, I'd say she'd get the job done rather easily. What is her problem? This isn't the time to provoke the lass, Wilma. She's so keen to stick her nose in everything, Ludwig. Might as well teach her a little lesson, wouldn't you say? Let's not get carried away, Wilma. We're not here to... Why, that's a terrific idea. Elise, that's dangerous. You'll get hurt. Oh, dear Lord, she's getting in there. I'll show you all. Ooh, why is it goopy? A snake! A black snake was in the fountain. Oh, Kieferberg is done for. The witch, it's the witch! The devil himself! Okay, bye-bye. Silence! We can't lose our heads. We must remain calm. You folks can't... Calm? How are we to remain calm, Father? Everyone's dismissed. Back to work. Gustav and I will have a word about this. Little goody two-shoes. Like, I know, obviously. part of how the snake's involved. Oh, there's fucking... What does she even want? I won't be getting it for her. Anything else new? Nope. I'll save the other coins for now. Yay! What do you want?
このガキ
It's you! I have an offer for you, Elise. Out of my sight, Martha. I've had enough trouble for one day. Oh, but I think you'd like to hear this.
あっそう
Out with it, then. I don't have all day. Ah, but it wouldn't be for free.
あのね
How about you give me some soup? Why, I don't think so, Muffs.
そんな
We had an agreement, Elise. I don't have anything I'd like to give her, is the thing. Out of my sight, Mary. I don't care what it is you have to tell me. Go away. You'll regret it, Elise.
あっそう
Will I now?
あのね
Very much so. I'll tell every folk in town, you and your cousin. Tell them, then. I won't if you give me some apple strudel tomorrow. Go tell them whatever you want, however many times you want, to whoever you want, Mandy. I want you out of my sight. Millie's interference can weigh quite heavy. I'd best be prepared for tomorrow. Like, once again, the fact that it's the same suspicion meter no matter what causes it to go up. It's filled with dirt. That Wilma tried to make a planter, but it fell flat, huh? Wilma's shack. I wonder what she keeps in here. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, 3 hearts for Freya, so I feel like I should probably focus in. Run around a little bit, see if I can find, since there seem to be a couple story objectives. Good gracious. Both in town square. I can talk to some people. We'll probably round out the day in game. And wrap up stream by the evening, so nothing wrong with using some NPC dialogue to make sure we round out to a good time. I don't know how much the mic is picking that up. Hopefully not too badly, but I guess it isn't a big deal if it is. I'm glad to see there's some cheer left in you, Lisbeth. I have much to thank you for, Mrs. Mariel. You do look better, Mrs. Lisbeth. We spent a couple hours at Mrs. Mariel's, you see. I knew you could use some time away from these goings-on. I must say, however, I'm a little fearful myself, too. You, Mrs. Mariel. Folks are losing their wits, Elise. We were sewing for the festival, and even then, every conversation led back to the crows or Apfel or the fountain. I see. Thinking ill of each other, accusing each other. I've just about had it. Don't let it get to you, Elise. Let what get to me, Mrs. Ariana? Why, this nonsense about the snake and the witch and whatnot. Folks can't get enough of it, and even I'm starting to believe it. I wouldn't say I believe it, Elise, but it's complicated. You understand, don't you? I suppose I do, Mrs. Ariana. It's cruel, I tell you, that's all this is. What's cruel, Mr. Heinrich? Blaming Eugene for what happened to the windmill lass. I must confess I'd rather it be a witch than a neighbor. Now, I wouldn't go that far, but Eugene wouldn't... You, Mr. Heinrich. That serpent you pulled out of the fountain, Elise. Folks couldn't do such a thing. Wouldn't you say it crawled into the fountain by itself? Not likely. Whatever's happening in Kieferberg. It's starting to compromise our livelihood, and we can't have that. We must make the most of those patrols, that's what. Good gracious. Ah, Elise, I was looking for you, dearie. Looking for me, Mrs. McTilde. You see, I was hoping you'd have a word with Ariana. I've been struggling quite a bit lately, you see. Struggling with what, Mrs. McTilde? Oh, it's rather embarrassing, but I can no longer do many of my house chores. This terrible trimmer won't let me wash my dishes or my laundry. Mrs. McTilde, won't you tell her I need her to stop by tonight, Elise? I would tell her myself, but this would be the 4th time this week, you see. Of course, Mrs. McTilde, I'll let her know. Ah, Mrs. Ariana, I was meaning to ask you. Is it Mrs. McTilde? She says she needs you to help her out again tonight, yes? The poor thing. Old age truly doesn't forgive, does it? When did this start, Mrs. Ariana? Oh, just last week, Elise. I caught her trying to wash her sheets by the well, you see. She could have asked me. Mrs. McTilde's rather stubborn, you know that. Tell her I'll be there right after supper. All right, Mrs. Ariana. Did you find her, Elise? Mrs. Ariana said she'll come by right after supper, Mrs. McTilde. Thank you, Elise. Here's something for you. Silk purse. You don't have to, Mrs. McTilde. Oh, it's the least I can do, my dear. There will come a day when I truly won't be able to do anything after all. Mrs. McTilde. I don't want to talk to these old fuckers. But I will. Ugh. We ought to search Kieferberg from top to bottom, I say. I'm not sure I agree, old Jochen. I share your concerns, Mr. Ludwig. I'm certain that serpent simply crawled into the fountain. Can't you see what's transpiring here, you fool? No, I don't think we can, old Jochen. Everyone else is fretful, of course, but you're the one causing such an uproar. I suppose that snake you pulled out of the fountain didn't help, Elise. As if that's my fault, Mr. Ludwig. I wouldn't put it past you, lass. Lord knows the witches. Blindly accusing folks won't get us anywhere, old Jochen. You'll see, you fools. No, I don't think we will be seeing much of anything, old Jochen. We must keep calm, lest Kieferberg catches on fire. Yay! There she is. Come now, Elderly, there's hardly any need for all that howling. I'm surprised you're not on her side about this, Mrs. Bertha. Odalie's convinced you conjured up that serpent, Elise. We all saw it with our very eyes, Bertha. We saw nothing of the sort. Elise might very well be the witch for all we know. Why, you... That said, we can't point fingers at everyone in town, Odalie. Punishing all of Kieferberg out of fear isn't the answer. Oh, good lord, we're done for. I can't even have a word with Lebkuchen, either. Because you folks hounded her day and night. Leave Odalie to me, Elise. Kieferberg will be done for if we carry on like this. Gracious. Just let me talk to the old man. Do you have a moment, Elise? Certainly, Father. I would like to ask you to go easier on folks. Easier, Father? Practice patience, Elise, now more than ever. You pulling out that serpent this morning has upset some folks. I don't think that's fair, Father. Mrs. Wilma was the one who provoked me to do it in the first place. I understand, Elise, but folks are restless. Today has been rather challenging, as you know. I hope you're having this conversation with Mrs. Odalie as well. Mrs. Bertha, Mrs. Brunhild, and old Jochen, too. Certainly, Elise. Least suspicious person in town. Folks drinking to get a proper look, I wager. Kept thinking I was noticing a twinkle out of the corner of my eye, but maybe it was just speech bubble from the ladies here. So Freya at her house in the back alley, so we'll head there in a moment. Look around out here to see if anyone's... These two again. It's just as Mr. Ludwig said, this old fool's hoping for the witch to show up. Hold on. Do I need to go to church? You don't look so well, Mrs. Dorothy. Oh, Elise, I can't come to terms with it. Father Hans has cancelled all my classes for the week. What for? He insists the boys are to rest until the festival. It's not his worst decision, I suppose. Yet you understand my frustration, don't you, Elise? Their daily readings are an important part of their day. It's only for 2 days, Mrs. Dorothy. Oh, you don't understand. Gracious. I don't know exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. The way that, the little map icon to find out what happened is pointing me to around here. Tab around and make sure there's not anything else. Guess I could run back out to the farms. Oh you know what? Oh, some folks over here for once. As rare as it is. That absolutely will not do, Gustav. Wilma's right. What we all need is someone to... What are you two pestering Mr. Gustav for? They're all valid concerns, ladies, but I ought to say... No, I don't think you understand, Gustav. We must make certain there's no witch in Kieferberg. I have a suggestion, Mrs. Elma. We throw folks off the cliff, see if they fly or not. Very funny, Elise. The lass is right, ladies. We must be reasonable here. Things can only get worse if we don't act now, Gustav. Things could get better too, Mrs. Elma. Oh, all you want is to be in Gustav's good books, lassie. All I want, Mrs. Wilma, is some peace and quiet around here for once. That's why we must find the witch, lass. Good grief. The washing well's empty. That note, and that key. Whoever's been doing those rituals may have tampered with this faucet. I imagine it's not the kind of thing I want to do with folks around here for once, though. Off we scamp. Were there goats over here last night? I didn't think much of it, but now that they're not there... I forgot she was going to be out here. I suppose I won't be getting in here anytime soon, huh? We'll be doing that in a moment. Oh, you're over here. Good grief, Lebkuchen. What are you doing here, for goodness sake? Why, I'm looking after the children. You were told to rest for the day, you... It's not as though I'm on my deathbed, Elise. Father Hans came about to tell me Mrs. Dorothy's class was cancelled. I took it upon myself to watch them is all. Still, Leb, I promised you I'll be heading home at nightfall. For goodness' sake. I won't be playing Kiss the Rat today. Is there anybody over here? I do wonder if... I'm not gonna bother looking around enough to learn anything different, but... It does seem like Mr. Eugene's probably not around anymore, which is... not surprising. Oh, you know what? I'm the problem, I suppose. I always have been. It's probably because of, one of the chores being over here that... since I have a quest to get to work. There she is. I'll spend some time with her. Aw. Cute little patchwork bed. Elise, there you are. You don't have to be so excited each time, Freya. I can't help it. Come in now. There's something I'd like to show you. I've only ever been here once before, I think. Oh, I know it's rather childish. Huh? What is? All these curtains and whatnot. It's like a child's room, I know. You made those yourself, didn't you, Freya? Of course I did. I don't see what's wrong with them. Mrs. Marielle always says I'd best focus on garments is all. I'd say she's right anyhow. I do too much embroidering, don't I? You make all your dresses, Freya. It's time I make them a little less colorful, isn't it? Mr. Gustav's overalls, too. I remember he made a great deal out of those. We both know she's right, Elise. You seem to think so, that's for certain. She's a proper seamstress, Elise. She knows what she's talking. So are you, Freya. Elise. Why do you think I have a bunch of grapes on my apron? Aren't grapes your favorite? For goodness sake, Freya, it's because of you. I begged Granny Holly to embroider them for me. Just so you weren't the only lass in town with a dainty apron. Cute. Oh, laugh all you want, you... Let me show you what I've been working on, then. What do you think, Elise? Oh. Oh, Freya. I thought I'd finally put this silky ribbon to good use. Oh, it's rather dainty. You like it, then? I do like it. You even added some big frills on the straps. Oh, I'm so glad you like it, Elise. That said, isn't it rather small for you, Freya? I thought you liked them longer and wider around the waist. This one's for you, silly. Huh? Summer's on its way, isn't it? You need something more cheery. For goodness sake. There you go, making things for me again, Freya. I can stop if you'd like me to, Elise, but this is simply how I don't have anything to give back to you, is all. Oh, but you do. Huh? Won't you dance with me on Saturday, Elise? Oh goodness, there you are, bright red again. You're shameless, Freya. Shameless? You do it on purpose. All these gifts and the things you say. Of course it's on purpose, silly. Let me do these things for you. This is how I express my... I know. Oh, shush, for goodness sake. You're so bad at this, Elise. I'll dance with you all you want on Saturday. Alright, Elise. I'll be looking forward to it. Good grief. Move along now, before you melt into a puddle. Freya! Yay! More art piece. A little worried I might have missed an opportunity to get one earlier this stream. Meet Freya in the grapevine path. Later. We're not gonna help chop some wood or get apples again. I'm good at apples. Let's see. There's a few more inside Mrs. Wilma's shack, I'm certain. A big old cask of ale resting upon a wooden stand. There she is, Apfel. Why don't you ask her? Ask me what? Ethel's going over what happened yesterday, Elise. He's rather tired, and... You saw her too, Elise. I know it. Who did you see, Apfel? I didn't see anyone, Apfel. Oh, Elise, what are we to do about this? I saw her. She had yellow eyes, and I... You're tired, Apfel. I know it was frightening. I was frightened too. Elise is right, Apfel. It's best you rest now. Why don't you go play with Gruna and Jakob? Oh, poor kid. Elise! What's the matter, Rosemarine? Folks have been looking at me all day, is all. You don't think they know? They don't know anything, Rosemarine. We can't forget you're still a stranger to Kieferberg. I don't remember getting these looks on Monday, Elise. They're wary because of what happened today, is all. I suppose. Good gracious. Oh, the other well's overflowing. I'm rather lucky to have my own well in the backyard, huh? I can't imagine having to come all this way just for some water. Covered in clusters of ivy, Kieferberg's water well overlooks the valley down below. We're not dealing with regular folk here. Oh, but what if it's not folk we're dealing with, Mr. Bernard? Lord knows what could happen to Kieferberg at this rate. It's too much to keep track of, folks. The horses, Apfel, our grain being riddled with weevils, and now this flooding. I must say I'm at a loss myself. You, Mr. Gustav. All of Kieferberg is confused, Elise. Why, that's no surprise, is it? You're also entertained with this witch you can't see straight. Elise. I can't say I don't agree, but it's to be expected folks would fret, Elise. What's that done for Kieferberg so far, Mr. Gustav? All this fretting, day in, day out, and for what? Even you ought to admit this isn't normal, lass. Truly, denying the witch exists at this point only makes you... We shouldn't go that far, Brunhild. She's right, Mathilde. If Elise isn't against the witch, then that means... It's best we leave it at that, folks. What a silly, like, bit of dialogue there. Fashioned out of an old barrel, the rickety cart rests cradling a couple worn-out buckets. Well, let's have an apples. Ah, how glad I am to see you, Elise. I must thank you for your hard work as always, lass. What do you mean, Mrs. Marielle? Why, you're still working hard despite everything. Lord knows what would be of me if you stopped helping. I suppose. That said, Elise, won't you please get me some firewood? Oh, this is the firewood. Yeah, I'll do firewood. I'll be back in a moment, then. Take your time, my dear. I will get, Rosemary. Why don't they ask Freya to chop it for them instead? I don't know entirely what getting the help on some of these means, but... Chop, kick. Straight up playing Rhythm Heaven here. Oh! These sprites are so cute. Ah! think you should kick the anvil?
3, 2, 1, go!
Oh. Okay, so if she helps me with wood chopping, she can give me wood that's worth more points, I guess? But it's a different color, so the first time I didn't completely realize that's what it was. I think I'm satisfied with an A rank. Ah, this is wonderful, Lilies. Here you go, dearie, for your trouble. Thank you, Mrs. Marielle. Just in time for supper, too. It's not overflowing anymore. Let's see. Actually, I don't know what I need right now. Let me have my pretzel just to keep my health up. And my bread to keep my hunger up. Although I should get more, probably, like usual. Get a hearty soup. And a couple grape juices. Okay. And unless I get caught up in something as soon as I hit the town square, it's about time to be done for the day. Make a new save in case I want to come back. Oh, thank you all for being here. So happy to have gotten back to it after missing a couple weeks. The plot continues to thicken like a fine roux. It's hard to say how much more this is there's going to be because there's only a day or two left by the in-game schedule. But there's no telling, like, with a total of, I believe, 10 different endings. 8 or 10, I forget exactly. I could very much want to show them all off on stream, and then it also comes to, like, how much of the process of getting back to them is stuff I want to show. Like, if I'm not going on any dates at all with Lebkuchen on stream, do I want to dedicate some time just to showing all of those? Probably. So we'll see. Which is all to say that, like, I doubt we're necessarily closing in on the end of streaming this, but I do feel like we're close to the end of our first run at the very least. more Spyro Dawn of the Dragon on Monday. That is already the most fun of the trilogy in my book. So I am eager to play more of that. And then more of this next Friday. Getting back into the groove. So, thank you all for being here. I hope that you all have a good rest of the day. Bye-bye.